Hi, I'm Jay, and today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate cake. I love cakes, and I love chocolate. Chocolate is the most important meal of the day, and I love chocolate cake. And today's my birthday, so I'm going to show you how to put together this really simple chocolate cake. Let's have a look at the ingredients. For this recipe, you're going to need 3/4 cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar, 3 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of cocoa, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1.5 cups of milk. Let's throw this together. Before you get mixing, you're going to start off by getting 3 9-inch pans, lining them with butter, and I'm using parchment paper, and coating them with butter and with some flour so that the batter is not going to stick to that. Then you're going to go into a large mixing bowl, and we're going to start off with throwing in our butter and our sugar. Now, you can just use a wooden spoon or something to cream these together, but I am going to be using my mixer. My butter is about room temperature, so it shouldn't take too long to cream this together. And once our mixture is pretty well mixed, we're going to go 1 egg at a time and beat them in until the mixture is smooth. Once your eggs and your sugar and your butter have a nice smooth consistency, we're going to throw in our vanilla and beat that in just until it's well mixed before adding in some of our dry ingredients. And now we're going to add in our flour, and I'm going to use a spatula just to mix it up a little bit, just because otherwise you just get this big cloud of flour. And we're also going to add in our other dry ingredients, so a little bit of salt, our baking powder, our baking soda, mix those in, and of course the important ingredient, the cocoa. Now this is going to be very dry at first, but that's okay. We're just trying to mix them up a little bit before we add in our milk. And I'm just adding in the milk a little bit at a time. And once your mixture is pretty well mixed, you're going to just beat it on high for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, just to get some nice air in there before we put it into our pans. Once our chocolate mixture is nice and silky and very well mixed, we're going to split this roughly into 3 and fill each of our pans about 1/4 to 1/2 of the way up until our batter is finished. Quite thick and gooey, and just looks like you could dive in there right away. And you just want to make sure that you spread it out nice and evenly. And once you got it evenly distributed through your 3 different pans, you're going to pop them into a preheated 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clear. Once you've taken your cake out of the oven, leave it for about 10 minutes, and then just using a knife, just run it around the very edge if needed. And we're going to turn this out so that it can cool completely onto a cooling rack. And I'm just inverting my cooling rack and then inverting the cake, and out it comes. And you just want to take off that parchment paper And obviously repeat for the other 3. And while that's cooling, we're going to prepare our icing. While our cakes are cooling, we need to put together a very quick chocolate icing. And here's a very simple, straightforward recipe for that. You're going to need 4 cups of powdered sugar, a half a cup of cocoa, a pinch of salt, a half a cup of butter, and some milk. And I'm also going to be using about half a teaspoon of vanilla. This is really simple to throw together. You'll start off in a large bowl with your powdered sugar, your cocoa, and your salt. And I'm just going to whisk that all together gently just to get the mixture started. And now we're going to add in our butter and our electric mixer on a very low speed at first, because otherwise it's just going to make clouds of powdered sugar everywhere. And I'm going to toss in my vanilla and just a little bit of milk at a time, because you really don't want this to become very loose and milky. You want the milk just to sort of help hold it all together. So that's why I didn't give an exact measurement. And once it's all sort of come together, you want to scrape down the sides a couple of times, and then we're going to mix it on high just to beat that up so that it's actually light and fluffy. And there you have it. Now we're ready to put it on our cake. And now, of course, my favorite part is getting to give this cake a taste. Let's get a nice piece cut out, and cuts quite well. And let's try and get a decent piece with some cake and some icing on it. Just love that smell of chocolate. Oh man, that's good. I like this recipe, but there are way more complex chocolate cake recipes. As far as a simple and easy that anyone can do kind of recipe, I really like this, and I love the flavor of this. Like I said, chocolate is the most important meal of the day, and happy birthday to me. That's a really great cake, and I'm going to enjoy some more of this. If you enjoyed this recipe, please remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And remember, if you try this recipe, remember to comment below, share your experience with it, and share how you made it your own. Remember, you can also follow me on my social media, my Facebook and my Instagram. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so by visiting my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching this special episode on my birthday. I really do appreciate you spending some time with me. And until next time, I got a cake to finish.